Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George has reaffirmed what we already knew. The PPP won the election in accordance with the current laws of this nation, meaning that in less than a span of 1 year, APNU got told that they lost for a 7th time, for those of you keeping track at home. Today, she dismissed their second elections petition, which accused GCOM of illegally issuing the recount order. But Chief Justice Roxanne George found that GCOM did not breach any law. The Chief Justice also added that they did not present any real evidence to even support their case. But while the leaders consider further ways to waste the court's time, a small group of APNU supporters decided that destruction of public property is the most appropriate response to the ruling. None at all has since accused the leaders of the coalition of giving their supporters false hope, something that I agree with fully. Head of Aaron's Royalty, Jason Aaron, was arrested this morning in relation to an offense under the Cyber Crimes Act. While they did not specify what exactly that offense was, unfortunately, I know for a fact that it wasn't naming your company a stupid name, because I would have definitely charged them for that if it was. Anyway, Aaron's Royalty is the company that is at the center of the Guy Oil fuel import scandal. According to Gordon Mosley, the investigation may be in relation to a number of recordings that Aaron made during his meetings with Guy Oil officials about the fuel import agreement. Some of the recordings were released after Guy Oil initially claimed that there was no agreement in place with him. Aaron has accused a number of Guy Oil officials, including a director of the company, of seeking a multi-million-dollar kickback over an arrangement to supply the company with a shipment of heavy fuel. The GEA has since seized the fuel shipment, claiming that Aaron didn't even have the proper licenses to import the fuel. The police have caught the man wanted for the April 21st fatal shooting of Adingo Anthony Haywood in Charleston, Georgetown. Lenroy Michael Ford was arrested at Devil Hole in Region 7. Oh my, what a name, Devil Hole. Anyway, the cops said Ford was arrested by police with the assistance of 2 rural constables based on intelligence received. A female is currently in custody for allegedly harboring the wanted fugitive.
Drill, baby, drill. Just as I said in the headlines, today Exxon has announced that it has discovered oil in the Uaru-2 well in the Starbrook Block. This is ExxonMobil's 19th discovery in the block. Exxon anticipates at least 6 projects online by 2027 and sees potential for up to 10 FPSOs to develop the discoveries. The startup of Liza Phase 2 remains on target for next year, utilizing the Liza Unity FPSO, which has a production capacity of 220,000 barrels of oil per day at peak rates, assuming that the boat doesn't develop flaring issues as well. According to the government's task force on the matter, its proposed Gash to Shore project at Wales is expected to cost roughly US $900 million. It should cost between US $570 to $630 million for the offshore pipeline, and riser, $80 million to $100 million for the onshore pipeline, $120 million for the gas plant, and between $40 and $50 million for infrastructure. According to the government, this cost was provided by Exxon. However, it should be noted that this is a significant increase in projected costs as opposed to the original proposed landing site on the East Coast, where it was estimated to cost over $200 million US. At this cost that it's currently posed at, it would make it the single most expensive infrastructure project in the nation's history. Yes, even larger than Amelia Falls. On Saturday night, one young man from Old Boys Town was murdered by his girlfriend's cousin because he disapproved of the relationship. When 20-year-old Devin Xavier went to visit his girlfriend this weekend, he was instead met by her father and a cousin who demanded that Xavier left and that the girl go inside the house. And according to the young lady, that is when she witnessed her 39-year-old cousin stabbing Xavier to death before fleeing the scene. The suspect was arrested last night and remains in police custody, and according to the cops, he was questioned but remained silent. 38-year-old disorderly mess Herman Liverpool was recently recorded in a video punching a cop in the face for serving him with a court summons for a traffic offense. Police did not reveal when the incident occurred.
Nevertheless, Liverpool was charged on Monday for assaulting a police officer, causing him actual bodily harm. He pleaded not guilty to the offence and was granted $50,000 bail. Apart from the assault charge, he was slapped with disorderly behaviour, use of abusive language, crossing the double yellow lines on a public road, and failing to stop when directed by a police constable. Liverpool pleaded not guilty to these offences also and was granted bail in the sum total of $30,000 for the charges. His next court date will be on July 27th. Giving our boy Liverpool just enough time to assault another officer or two. Yesterday, 26-year-old GFD Rank Lancelot Giddings died after crashing into a pedestrian and a car on the Lilliendal Railway embankment. According to the police report, Giddings was riding his motorcycle when 45-year-old pedestrian Sheldon Booker attempted to cross the road. Giddings knocked Booker down before his motorcycle was sent crashing into another vehicle, traveling the opposite direction. Both men were taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital where Giddings was pronounced dead, while Booker was admitted in a critical condition. The police are still reviewing CCTV footage of the accident for the investigation. This morning, the police arrested Facebook talk show host Gavin Machus for hurting Charles Ramson's precious widow feelings. The big bad meanie Machus was arrested this morning at Coffee Square while he was covering and participating in a small anti-government protest. He was actually streaming live on Facebook when the arrest occurred. They took him down to Brickdam, where he was questioned in relation to an offence under the Cybercrimes Act. He was accused of publishing a video on Facebook that is derogatory, with intent to humiliate and embarrass and to cause emotional distress. Well, according to Ramson, he snitched on Gavin because Gavin called him a terrorist and a murderer on his little Facebook show. In fact, Machus is an outspoken critic of the government who used his platform to openly criticize the government. But I guess this government official wasn't having any of it, which is why they went and called the cops on him like a punk. Well, I'm sorry you can't take the heat, Bounty Lions, but it's a part of politics, having to have a thick skin. Anyway, I thought the law was stupid in the past administration, and I think it's stupid today. Speaking of stupidity, some geniuses allowed the Sharon building in Georgetown to burn to the ground, even though it was smoking since yesterday morning. The fire occurred yesterday as a slow burn until everything burst into one huge inferno after nightfall. The source of the fire is still under investigation, but it is suspected to be electrical in nature. One thing is certain, despite being a, quote, modern commercial complex, the building did not possess an adequate working fire suppression system. I feel bad for the shopkeepers who lost all their livelihoods because of negligence. Police are currently searching for 19-year-old Shaquan Allen, the boyfriend of missing Linden resident Shawnette Dover, whose body was found in a shallow grave on Friday. According to the cops, Dover's 15-year-old sister led investigators to the shallow grave in Allen's backyard. According to her, Allen and his father buried Dover in the backyard after Allen negligently discharged his firearm while he was cleaning it on April 3rd. Dover was fatally struck by the discharged round. The police said that the father and the 15-year-old girl remain in police custody while the search continues for the boyfriend. This morning, nursing assistant and pyramid scheme operator Kezia Jewel Roberts was slapped with an additional 15 counts of obtaining money by false pretense. Based on reports received, Roberts had registered a business under the name Capital Care Investment with the Registrar of Companies and posted a business flyer on her Facebook page enticing persons to invest in her pyramid scheme, pretending to be an investment firm. Earlier this month, she faced similar charges for the scheme. Today, Roberts pleaded not guilty to all 15 charges and was released on $300,000 bail. A police constable attached to the Bartica police station is now under arrest after he hospitalized a civilian who was publicly apologizing to him for assaulting him the day prior. Georgiano Tavriden was charged for assaulting 2 police officers on April 24th of this year, and he was ordered by the courts to publicly apologize to the ranks. Well, he turned up at the Bartica police station to do just that. But instead of accepting his apology, Police Constable Harmon decided to beat the stuffing out of him. He was treated at the hospital and later discharged, while the constable was immediately taken into custody. The police force is currently searching for former GDF Rank DeLon Wilson. Wilson is wanted for questioning in relation to larceny by public officer. Last year, he was also wanted for home invasion. So, I guess he's a multifaceted thing. Now, hey Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.